Hey guys, Dr. Ducey here. How are you? Back in the 80s, I did most of my competing in bodybuilding. And back then, you could do well at 6 feet tall and 185 to 190 pounds, which is basically what I weighed in at. You could even win contests, and I actually won a couple. They were small shows, local shows. Um, and what happens is when you have success early on, or a lot of times at any point in life, you get kind of comfortable. You pull yourself out of that discomfort that you should always stay in, because when you're in that little bit of discomfort all the time, it keeps you working. But you start to drink your own Kool-Aid and believe your own success and surround yourself with people. It could be friends, training partners, business associates, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, anybody who's awfully close to you and they have a vested interest in your welfare and your success because they're close to you, and they're going to tell you you look great, or you are great, or you're doing great, your ideas are fantastic, and they're going to bullshit you. And you hear it for so long, you don't think it's bullshit, you believe it. Uh, and years pass, and you get jaded, and uh, this is ruinous. It can be very, very ruinous, and um, uh, you're really looking for truth. And a lot of times people don't want that because truth means you have to be real, and that lends to responsibility, and that lends to effort. You're going to get your teeth kicked in, you're going to get slammed to the ground, but it's a huge disservice when you've got people bullshitting you. I contract with top pros and experts in the fitness and bodybuilding industry to learn from every year. And I cherry pick, I take information from each one and I employ it to make myself better. And recently I'm working with John Romano. He's a pretty big figure in the bodybuilding industry. And he's really, really a successful coach. All of his clients always place in the top 5 or better in national level shows. Uh, so we were messaging recently, and basically came through and says, you're small. You're small. You're telling a bodybuilder that he's small. And I wasn't affected adversely by that at all. I really didn't feel bad. Number one, I have ripped, thick skin. Number two, he's right, because I've always compared myself to Frank Zane. That was my. I'm not saying I was as good as him, but that's the bar I set for myself. I thought I had a Zane like body, but that's really not true. And Romano was saying the same thing. Um, it's nonsensical. And because of that, I always guided myself that way. I never probably ate enough, and I never trained heavy enough. And these aren't excuses; these are just facts. The good thing is, John saying something like that is the positive end is that I can get bigger. And it's not about having the biggest truck or the biggest dog or compensating for some type of stupid shit. I'm well beyond those formative years as a younger man. Uh, it's all about seeing how good I can be. And I don't want to leave anything on the table, because when you're on your deathbed someday, regret is the worst thing to have. So, John says, we can get you over 200 in top shape. I've never allowed myself to think that way. It was kind of sobering hearing these things. All of a sudden, I have to change my entire thought process that I've adhered to for over 40 years in training. But again, because I trust him and he doesn't bullshit, there's a certain league of people who aren't really very happy, or they don't like him very much because of that. When you're a truth teller, you're not always the most popular, and I don't give a shit. Uh, this is a good thing because it can be done. All right. And if it can be done, again, I go to bed every night and I ask my maker, I look in the mirror, have I done all I can? And he always says no. And that gets me out of bed working hard the next day, because, if you want to be successful, and I've had success in certain modicums and arenas, you see someone who's successful and they make it look so easy. You look at somebody like Tom Brady, just somebody who popped into my head, and a lot of people don't like him, and they don't like him because he's successful, I think. Uh, a lot of people don't understand that he continues to work hard all the time. Um, there's a line from a Grateful Dead song, just when you think you're on easy street, danger is knocking at your door. So you never let up. You never take your foot off the gas. And that's a good thing. So I've surrounded myself with good people at this point, people who are more honest. I mean, the other people are good, but now I've got people who are more honest. And, you've got to watch it with coaches, because many of them, they'll tell you whatever they think you want to hear. Even if you look like crap or you shouldn't go in a contest, they'll tell you to go in the contest. Why? Because you're money to them. And if you complain to them about the outcome, they're going to say, well, you didn't follow what I told you to do, or they're going to give you some type of bullshit. And there's so much of that out there. And people are always being sold a false bill of goods. Um, you know, if you find somebody you trust and you persist and you keep going forward, and you know you have that clarity of vision in the back of your head of what you can be and what you want to be, you'll get it. So really what you have to do is, find somebody who's been down the road that you want to trod, and then hire them and listen to them, and then you'll be successful. That's it. You have a great weekend.